Yo, what's good? It's the boy D-Reviews, and heavy spoilers for My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 6, You Have Been Warned. Let's talk about the good and the bad. The good? I do like how in the beginning of the episode, all of the characters are still concerned for Aoyama, and whether or not this plan would work. I like the scene especially with Momo talking about how Aoyama and his parents, if they ever lied to All For One, he would of course know about it and Control-Alt-Delete them, but thanks to Shinso's help, the UA students are all celebrating and cheering, and I like this. I like how not a single one of them is still suspicious of Aoyama. None of them resent him for what he did to them. I'm just happy there's no tensions between the UA students and Aoyama. I also like Phantom Thief in this episode and how he was utilized in it. He is instructed by Eraserhead to learn how to use Kurogiri's quirk, and how he thinks back to when he was a kid, how people always told him that his quirk was used for sidekicks and side characters, and it got to him. This character throughout the series was always seen to be quite creepy and weird, but getting to know him more and more, you honestly start feeling sorry for him, but also you want him to do his best and to be his best version. I like the touching moment where Blood Hero V-Lad King puts a hand on his shoulder, reassuring him that no one in this fight is a side character and everyone is useful for something. And that's the one thing I liked about this episode, was that all the heroes from the number one hero Endeavor to the quirkless All Might all had a role to play in this fight, and it was honestly satisfying seeing all the characters work together as a team. Even Eraserhead in his condition is still fighting and doing what he can do to help the team out. I talked a lot of praise about Phantom Thief, but mate, did he have to have that creepy moment talking about him pulling the strings? He looked like a villain there. Dabi's voice actor without a doubt had the best performance in this entire episode. Hiro Shimono put his all into this episode. The way Dabi got excited to see Shoto and Endeavor, and how eager he was to fight him. You can already tell that the fight that Dabi is going to have with the UA students, possibly with Endeavor and Shoto, is going to be wild, because mate, some of those sequences of Dabi in this episode were really well done. The designs, the fluidity, his expressions, definitely some of the best in the entire episode. But I found it adorable yet really sad that Shoto still refers to Dabi as his brother. He called him idiot brother, showing us that even though Dabi is on the side of evil, Shoto still deep down wants to try and save him. In the previous episode, he was talking about how he hopes that he and Dabi can have a meal together. So my theory is that possibly Shoto will do some talk no jutsu to Dabi in the future. Dabi may see the errors of his ways, and maybe he could turn around. I do hope so for Shoto and his mom. But even All For One said it was cruel to split off from Shoto and have him pair up against Dabi. So when the big bad villain of the series is telling us that this is gonna be a really emotional fight, I'm actually shaking in me wee boots and really scared to see the outcome of Shoto and Dabi's fight. But the episode had an unexpected development. Deku was meant to be paired with Bakugo and the gang to fight off against Shigaraki, but instead he's with Ochako to fight off Toga. Toga separated him from the group, so now the gang have to completely reevaluate their situation. Toga's weird dark obsession with Izuku Midoriya has me very anxious and worried for Midoriya's well-being, as this character is pretty unpredictable. Maybe Ochako is the key because she and Toga had a moment in season 6. I do feel like if Toga was shown a bright path, if the people in her life were more positive towards her instead of showing negativity, maybe she could have been a hero like Ochako and Izuku. But no, she's on the other side. Toga staring down Ochako and Izuku is almost like she's looking into a mirror of what could have been. What if she went down the path of goodness? The episode ends with Shigaraki using a new technique that I don't think I've seen before. Maybe I have, but I don't remember it. But the villain extends his arms and attacks Miriko. Miriko and Shigaraki's animation in the finale of this episode was really fluid at times, but the way he smacks Miriko the way he did makes me really fearful for Miriko. I do feel like Miriko is out of the fight because that attack looked pretty damn painful. I say this because after I watched this episode, I went to the manga chapter that this episode adapted from. The way Horikoshi drew this manga panel of Miriko being attacked by Shigaraki looked incredibly painful, violent, and really intense. The stare down he has with Eraserhead shows me that this guy has the upper hand, this man has the high ground. That Shigaraki stare down towards Eraserhead has me worried for Eraserhead. Eraserhead is not in good condition anymore. Mate, if looks could kill, Eraserhead would turn into dust immediately, because mate, Shigaraki is scaring me and I'm scared for Eraserhead. Is next week going to be the last time we're going to see Eraserhead? We did have a reminder an episode or two ago about his sad backstory with Kurogiri, who was originally his friend that we saw in the previous season. All this Eraser screen time, is it leading to the downfall of Eraserhead? But with that said, let's talk about the bad. Not gonna lie, I was expecting more fights in this episode, the way the previous episode ended with Deku and the UA students against the villains. I thought we were gonna see more of a clash, but no, it is more setting up for future events that's going to happen. This episode more or less set the scene, set the stage. Some scenes were actually done better in the manga, because after I watched the episode I did see some of these manga chapters that the episode adapted from. In particular, the scene where Ochako and Deku are staring down Toga. Horikoshi drew this beautiful wide panel of the characters, and I did feel like that the anime sort of lacked that aura that the manga panel had, but it's only that scene. I do feel like the entire episode was pretty well adapted from manga to anime, in particular the scenes with Shigaraki and Dabi. I'm looking forward to next week's episode, and hopefully we should have some juicy fights to sink our teeth into. I'm going to give this episode a 7.5 out of 10 and a B. Tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Like this video, subscribe for more My Hero Academia reviews, as well as other anime updates and all that jazz. But thank you for watching, and as always, a boy dude review signing out.